He said, how do you went from how many people per year?
2,000 people per year.
So 2,000 to 20,000 per year, yeah.
It's equipping people with the right system and duplicating that system within an organization. So the goal in network marketing is to not have a lot of people or a few people do a lot. It's about a lot of people doing a little. Does that make sense? That's what the 80%er is all about. I don't need everyone working 12 hours a day, but if I get all the 80%ers to work 30 minutes a day, we're going to make a lot of money. You see what I'm saying? You guys got to understand the concept of leverage. Okay, leverage is where wealth is created. In investing, you have your money make you money. It's leverage, right? In business, I leverage other people's efforts to make money. So once you guys master leverage, you'll master wealth. That's the trick. Because if I just try to trade time for money like the average person, homework, I'll do homework my whole life. I don't like homework. You like homework? No one likes homework. That is why you create methodologies where you maximize your time. Because if I physically just traded hours for dollars, what's the max I could work a day? 10 hours, right? 10 hours ain't going to get me rich because how much could someone pay me for working 10 hours? This is the things you got to understand. So that's how you do it.
Another question, team? Yes, go ahead. Right here, first one up, yeah.
Let's say that you have a lot of people that you've sold to, and you need to re-spark their interest to get them excited that they can also be selling. Like you want to, that's the 80%. So how do you get back to them after maybe not even speaking with them for years? You know?
So you sold them a product.
Oh, yeah.
And then you want to resell them after like 5 years.
I want to resell them on the business that they can make, a lot.
Okay, got them.
So you create a success story, you highlight the success story, and you show a system of how that success story was created. You show them someone like them that they can relate to, not someone like you or someone who's a 5%er that they're not relating to at all. You show them the average guy or the average girl who's doing this very, very part-time that's really just a consumer, but because of this tool you created, hey, they've been sharing this video 3 times a week, they've been able to start creating some passive income. That's the key.
Another question. Yes, go ahead.
Do you believe that passion is a key component along with skill in the product that you're selling in order to have success?
Yeah. To me, I'm sure you guys seen a video. I just posted it, so it goes hand in hand with the question. So I posted a video when I said, you don't have to be passionate about your product to make a lot of fucking money, right? But I said, if you are passionate about your product, you have a fucking bonus now. It's like the cherry on top. But you don't have to be passionate. And I've crushed everybody's fucking theories on this because I said, okay, well, let's play. When I was young and I was working in my first job, I wasn't fucking passionate about fucking putting turds on people's grass, it looked like. I poked holes in people's grass. The thing would flick out and it looked like there was a piece of shit on somebody's grass. And I made a shit ton of money. I was making more than all my family members and all my teachers inside of school. I was making well over $1,000 a week. Was I fucking passionate about poking holes in people's grass? I said my hunger outweighed my passion. And then I said something happens in sales. You land in a sales job, which nobody ever said, like you always fall in a sales job. You're not like, oh, I want to be a salesperson. So you just fucking fall into sales. Everybody's fell into sales. Nobody grew up and said, I want to be a salesperson. So I fell into sales because I was broke, and it's usually the only job that accepts you to say if you're broke and stupid like yourself, then come into sales if you can work harder than anybody else. So it didn't judge me, right? So it accepted me, and I started working my ass off, and guess what started to happen? I got good at my sales job, knocking on doors, selling people this aeration service, to the point where I was selling it so much, and I seen so many fucking results where I started believing a little bit more. I started believing a little bit more. I started liking a little bit more. I started liking a little bit more. Fuck, I started loving this shit. I'm like, this is the best thing in the world, right? But in the beginning, I was still doing well without being passionate about poking holes in people's grass. I think they both go hand in hand, though. I think skill sets and passion go hand in hand. And I do believe this, right? I think it's a fucking balance. Meaning, I watched Bill post something. That's why I like social media. Bill posted something this week or last week, right? I'm very attentive to shit. Bill posted something. He's like, hey, if you don't like the cards that you've been fucking dealt, switch the cards that you've been fucking dealt. And I liked it. And I said, and at the same time, right, sometimes the moment you come in, you got to question yourself. Are you just switching it because you're being fucking lazy? So every time you get a shitty hand, you're like, all right, let me switch it. It's not the most perfect hand. You're never going to get the most perfect fucking hand. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to get dealt real estate, but they're going to say, now you're in this shitty area. You live in this shitty area. doesn't mean you can't still do real estate because you're in real estate, right? So it's like, to me, it's like you kind of got to know when you're jumping because you're being a little bitch, or you're like, no, I've been going all in, or, you know, there's nobody in this position making fucking money, so it's time for me to jump. But if there's somebody in your city making a lot of money in this shit fucking town and you're just jumping once a card's been dealt, like you haven't even started. Like people are like, oh, I'm quitting. Well, how long did you work? For 3 months. Dude, quitters deserve a title. You haven't started yet. Like you can't say you're fucking quitting if you've been a week inside of the sales business. Well, yeah, you know, I'm thinking about quitting. Dude, it's been 4 fucking weeks, 5 hours a day. Please don't insult true quitters in real life. You have to earn the title of quitting. I heard John say once. I'm like, fuck, I love it. But did it answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Kind of, yeah. Skill set and passion.
So I think it's important for people that aren't talented in sales because they're going to speak completely different about the product or the service because it excites them, right? The tonality, the posture, I think that's going to be big. And if someone's good in sales, you're just going to be 10 times better, someone like yourself, right? You're just going to get even better at what you do. But I also think the underlining reason why you're doing what you do is the key. And you always hear like your why, right? That's like the most old school thing you've ever heard is your why. Your why, though, is an evolving thing. So realize that. Your why when you start is not going to be your why 10 years from now, most likely. For example, when I started at 18 years old, I just wanted to make an extra few dollars. It wasn't the concept of like retire my parents. Like I just wanted to make some money. I was 18 years old. I was in college. I wanted a nicer car. Like it was simple, right? By 21, 22, I had all the money that I could ever need. I bought my first Rolls Royce at 20 years old. Like this, I was doing this thing, right?
Dude, do you think, you brought up such a good point right now.
Yeah.
That's why I had to steal the mic. I'm a curious person.
Yeah.
Do you think sales individuals are born or made? Really, just answer it. Like, what
Yeah.
would you think, when I asked you the question, what did you say right away in your head?
I would say it's partially both.
Partially both. Okay, because the reason why I said this is because you said, I love that you said this. You said if you're great at sales, fucking sell it. Because a salesperson can sell. That, you know, can be. But I like that you said if you're passionate about the product, and it's better that if you're passionate and you're shitty about sales, that's okay, because the skills will fucking come. Loved it.
Because
You guys,
the way you
I get turned on by this shit because this is like when somebody, you guys got to think of this because it's identification too as a leader. Like you got to say, okay, what do I got to do to this person? Are they super passionate about the product and now I got to train them on sales, right? Or are they really great at fucking sales and they don't love the fucking product? Because if they aren't, sorry, bro,
Yeah.
if they're not great, if they're really good at fucking sales, right, and they're not passionate about the product, then what do I got to teach the person? This is where my brain goes. I'm a weird dude. What do I got to teach the person? How to find the right customers. Because sales is one thing. Even if you're not passionate about it, there's people out there, you solve a problem, you sell the product. So now I can identify 2 individuals that come in, one's passionate, one has a skill set. But the person can't be passionate without having the ability to learn the skill set.
So you want to hear a prime example of this?
Yeah. I could talk about this shit all day, by the way.
You guys have seen people join the business their first month and recruit 10 people. And then they can never recruit anyone after that first month. Because they become too educated on the product and less excited about the product. Do you see what I'm saying? Remember how I showed you the up and down chart of the average network marketer's career? It's just an emotional roller coaster. When they knew nothing, but they were excited and they can connect a dot, they were still making more money, knowing nothing. But then they knew everything. They lost the excitement, they lost the energy, and that's why they can't make a sale.
Interesting. Why? Because they have information obesity?
So yeah, they overload themselves and they get into all the little analytical things which never matter. The analytical stuff never matters. When you
This is for every sales career.
everything.
Yeah.
You showed me network marketing. The only thing that mattered to me was passive residual income. I didn't need to understand how the comp plan worked at that time.
So fucking important.
I just needed to understand that if I did work, I could make money and it could pay me to the future.
Got it.
That's it.
Interesting.
The simpler you keep things, guys, the more money you'll make.
Any other questions, team? One more question for myself, Anthony. Yes, go ahead. Just stand up. Fire it off.
Yeah, so most products have a target audience, right? You're selling a juice, you're selling a lotion, you're selling makeup, whatever it is. It's like, hey, male, female, this age to that age, right? Like most products have that target audience. Companies build their whole business off of target audiences, right? When you're talking about money, okay, it's a little different because everyone could use more money, right? even like I have people in my business who are 80 plus years old that are going to be dying soon, and they wanted to join the business to leave their kids a nest egg. That's a unique approach. Then I have like someone who's 18 years old who has no money, he's just getting started in business and wants to make some money. That's that person. Then I have the guy who's in his mid-30s, had a couple kids now and is trying to save some money up for their, college. There's different types of people, but the market is so broad that you could hit so many different, that's why I love what I sell personally. I'm not shilling my product by any means, but I'm just saying I love that I could recruit every type of person because everyone wants more money and everyone wants to get better with their finances.
And you have a lot of female badasses.
Lot of females.
Like
a lot of females.
You guys may not know this, but a lot of Anthony's team is comprised of a lot of saleswomen that fucking crush it, like smash it.
Beautiful.
They're
young saleswomen.
They're hungry.
Crush it.
Yeah. So, do you think women are better at sales than men?
Yes, because
Why?
Because women like to talk.
Okay.
They do.
Okay.
And they're very open.
But is that a good thing? Because if you overtalk, sometimes
you could overtalk.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys don't talk at all.
Yeah.
They're too standoffish.
Right.
They're just
Right.
they're to themselves too much. Women like to talk about everything.
So
right?
if you would pick, you would love a sales team of all women.
Yeah, women are the best.
Doesn't it get dramatic?
I can tell you.
But I know you like the drama because attention is money. Right?
At the end of the day, I can tell you my business is very peaceful. To be transparent with you. When I started in network marketing the first few years, there was a lot of drama, chaos. People would do, at this point in my career, it's very, very peaceful because I don't give you energy if you're wasting my energy. It's like, hey, you're an idiot. Have a nice day.
Right.
I don't need anyone. For me, this is what I was going to touch on. Back to that point, though. I think this is very, very important. Your why evolves over time. When I was 18, it was about money. By 21, 22, I didn't need any money. It was like I had plenty of money to live and do what I wanted to do, right? And it evolved. Like right now, my why is to help people. That's a unique why. I'm not money driven at all. My other why, we took the company, when I started with the company that I'm with, we had 4 employees. We took it to a publicly traded company a few years back, and we're getting ready for our uplifting to the NASDAQ. That's a big deal. These are things that I'm motivated by compared to the money specifically.
Love it. Love it. Team, any other questions? Does somebody have another question? If you guys are tired, you can get up if you want, but I'll answer 1 or 2 more questions right now. I could stay here doing this till 5 a.m., right? You guys seen how weird I am. I'm like, whoa, that was cool. So I'll answer some more questions if you guys want. Go ahead. In the red shirt. Yes, go ahead. You? What is the first thing I do when I wake up? 2 things. First thing is I say, thank you, God, for giving me another day. I don't write out a million things that I'm grateful for because I think life just suffocates all of it, I could be like, I'm thankful for the house. I'm thankful for my bed. Yeah, okay, I get it. I'll be on the sheet all day and then I won't get fuck all done, right? Because some people, they're writing out their gratitude thing for 18 hours. I'm like, dude, it's 4 o'clock. You've still been doing your affirmations at 4 p.m.? So, and by the way, wait, everybody has a different operating system, so I'm not shitting on somebody's operating system because I think it's bad when somebody's like, oh, you wake up in the morning, you got to do a cold shower, 85 jumping jacks, meditate and levitate in the morning, and then you can get your day going. And that was 18 millionaires videos on YouTube, but I'm like, you know how many fucking millionaires there are in the world that aren't saying that shit, So to me, wake up in the morning, thank you, God, I got another day at this thing called life. Sometimes I go to bed and I'm like, fuck, hopefully I just wake up tomorrow. That's it. You never know what the fuck's can happen. Life is so finite. And I always put life on a pedestal over anything. I put it above any fucking why that I ever put inside of my business. A business is motivated, but life is always my fucking why inside of my life. You know what I mean? Because I don't got to go searching anymore. Because I'm like, how about if somebody tries to develop a why every single, like Anthony, it always develops. So it's gradual, but if you could put life on the fucking pedestal, then you don't got to search your whole life trying to find your fucking why. You know what I mean? Because it's just right there. Because life is always the most important thing. You wouldn't give it up for fucking nothing right now. If I give you your why, my why is to have this big house and retire parents. Good, go give it up for your life tomorrow. Fuck that, exactly. So why wasn't your why on the pedestal? Why wasn't life always on the pedestal of just the most highest thing to be grateful for? That's my why. It's just life within itself. I woke up, I'm grateful. That's it. When somebody's lacking fucking energy in the morning, they're like, it's hard for me to fucking stay motivated. I'm like, because you don't care about your life. They're like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, you're not fucking grateful that you're just breathing right now. So you're trying to find something else, some external motivation to get you fucking hyped up, but you really don't care about your breath. But if I was to say fucking stop breathing, you'd be like, yo, I'll do anything to start breathing. Exactly. Your life is always at the most fucking important thing. Life is always the highest purpose in life, right? It's like the highest why. But then after that, now I start getting, I start like, Then the next thing is like, a fucking espresso shot or a coffee shot. Nobody bug me until I have it. Like I'm defrosting in the morning. So it's like, I have my espresso shot. I don't answer to nobody in the morning. I don't answer fuck all unless it's money. Nobody's allowed to text me unless it's money in the morning. I will not respond to it unless it's a check or a received wire or a mail because I'm not responding to it because it's the worst thing to do. Because I know the more you make, what starts to happen? The more people want from you and withdraw energy and money. So I start to realize that. I'm like, I'm going to pour on, but it's never about my fucking energy. It's always about other people withdrawing from me. So whether it comes from a comment, whether it comes from this, whether it comes from that, I'm not answering it. That's it. Even if it's my mother, if it's not an emergency, I'm not going to answer it till 11, 12, 1 o'clock. Always focused on myself first. So that's the first thing, dude. I just have a fucking coffee. What an easy morning routine, right? And then when my legs fucking defrost, I go for a run and I take care of my health first. I do all my important A priority tasks during the day. I look at my list, ABC, what are the shit that has to get done? I don't think nobody filters this out. What has to get done today? What would I like to get done? What would be fucking nice, the cherry on top to get done? But A gets done, right? Jog in between there. I try to run every single day and I try to work out every single day because I don't know if you guys heard me say, the only reason why I do it is not to have 6-pack abs anymore. Like I don't fucking need 8-pack or whatever. Like we're above that, right? But obviously it's to stay healthy, have endurance inside of my business. But how I treat running is how I treat my fucking business. So the first thing I said, remember when I said I'm super difficult on myself? I like running or whatever physical activity you do because it wears off inside a business. Whenever I'm fucking at the 9th kilometer and I'm like, shit, I gotta do 10. In between that 9 to fucking 10, when I give up, I'm like, everybody would have given up at this 9th fucking kilometer. My feet are fucking numb. I got shin splints. I'm 29 years old. It's not like a fucking 19-year-old race anymore. Everything's cramping up. I'm out of breath. I smoke fucking cigars. Like, no. Everybody would quit right now. So that 9 to 10, that's like the persistency inside of my head that's gonna translate inside of my business, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is I like to beat myself up during a run. Like I like to literally be dead and depleted after my run and just lay out and just say, did I fucking stretch myself? And it's measurable. It's measurable. So I know, because I'm in a race with myself, I know if I can measure that I'm better from yesterday, right? So because I'm always in competition with the person I am yesterday. So it's very measurable and I'm hard on myself. And if I'm hard on myself there, business is fucking easy. Again, if you're gasping for fucking air, life is easy. You guys get that? Like if you're gasping for air, everything else is fucking easy because all you're trying to do is like, fuck, I just need a water bottle and stop. That's it. Fucking life, you're about to say no to me? Fuck that, I was about to die today on my run. It was fucking 36 degrees in Miami. Fuck off. That's easy. I did fucking 23K. So these are these weird shit that I feel like entrepreneurs have with themselves. It's these battles, right? So that's why I do the shit that I do. That's the morning routine. You, dude?
Wake up.
He's rich. It doesn't even matter. He doesn't have a lot of this stuff.
I wake up. I'm up at like 6 a.m. every day.
Really?
Naturally, no alarm, nothing. Go to the garage, pick what car, go to the gym every day.
See what I meant?
Like that's the hard decision.
Yeah. And when you start working your business, when you start working, like when you start working.
So basically, I get home from the gym.
Yeah.
Probably like 8:30, 9 o'clock. I get a lot done by noon.
So you get your workout done in the beginning of the day. And can I ask you a question? Why?
Yeah, because Europe's gonna start blowing me up. So
Oh,
I want to
okay.
be done for like noon calls. It's nighttime. Like
So it's a business thing. It's not like a self.
Yeah.
Because to me, I get it done because I won't do it at nighttime.
I created militant routines.
Got
And
it.
I'm like programmed just like to the T. It's the same thing every day. Like when I'm home. When I'm on the road, I let people use my time however they want to use my time, and I unplug from everyone else. So if I'm going to go visit you and you're one of my top leaders in France or Belgium or Italy or Spain, I'm going to go there and you got my full attention. Some of you guys, you go travel to your teams and you're on your fucking phone the whole time. Sorry to say it, but like you can't build relationships. I'm building friendships that will last forever. Friendships and relationships are way bigger than money. These people are with me for life. We're brothers, we're sisters, we're family. Like someone messaged me this morning. He sent me a picture from 5 years ago. He's like, bro, we've done incredible things together. I want to thank you so much for changing my life. Like, that's what you do. But me personally, morning gym, I come home. I like to self-develop. I actually do. books, YouTube videos, audios, it's not always specifically my industry. It's more so like the world. Because when you guys realize when you're in sales, it's all about relating. Okay? If you cannot relate and make things make sense in their head, you're not going to convert that sale. So be educated on things outside of just your specific industry because it makes those conversations flow much better. Okay? Then from there, I like to blast out our team calls. We got systems and tools, so boom, blasting that information out between like noon and 4. I like to do like one-on-one meetings, team calls, prospecting, marketing, etc. Nighttime events. Show the plan. If you ain't showing the plan, you ain't making any money.
And sex, it doesn't fall in between there? Oh, okay.
A few times a day between that.
So, what was I say? Team, any other questions? Yes, you right here. Go ahead. The most influential books that I read that impacted our lives? Is that what you said? I'd have to say for me was when I was 15, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I read that book when I was 14, actually. I got into personal development when I was 14 heavily. Like I was a weirdo. By like 16, I read like 200 sales books. Had every sales book you can think of. Like I destroyed it from the insurance agency, real estate agent. I didn't even sell these things, but I got everybody's sales book that I could possibly get a hold on, right? And I'll tell you why How to Win Friends and Influence People. So you start off in a job, you fucking suck, right? So you start off, let's say you start off at a sales job, knocking on doors, selling real estate, you fucking suck. So I had a manager coming up to me, and I was on my way to drop out of school. I knew I was about to drop out. I knew I was always lied to. So I'm walking down this foyer in high school, and a sign says, if you want to make $1,000 on the weekend, sign up on this sign. I've seen cynics since I was 14 years old, so I never get emotional when people say no to my shit or they're cynical about my shit because I seen it at a very young age because there was a sign in my high school that said, if you want to make $500 to $1,000, sign up here. Every fucking person walked by that sign. There was 4 of us that signed up to that, right? I remember running to the sign. I seen it on the 3rd floor. I'm like, how the fuck do you make $1,000? I didn't give a shit about nothing. I'm like, how do I make? I ran down to the sign. I'm like, dude, what do I have to do to make $1,000? I will strip naked right now and run around the fucking school to make $1,000. And everybody was like, oh, but Daniel, come to lunch. I'm like, bro, I don't know what the fuck this thing is, but sign me up, dude. Whatever I got to do, sign me up for $1,000. I'm broke. Parents just divorced. I don't have $1 to my fucking name. So don't my friends have $1 to their name. I'm like, where are you guys even going to fucking lunch? To eat your sandwich across the street? I'm like, fuck that. I want to buy everybody lunch. This was my mentality. I can't even afford a date if I want to go on a date with a girl. Plus, I have old Italian fucking mental parents that are not going to give me $5 fucking for a date. So I'm like, I'm fucked. So I sign up to this sign. I'm like, dude, whatever you got to do. I'm like, I remember asking, like, is this a lie? And then I start thinking in my head, I'm like, is this a scam? And then I started saying, I'm like, Dan, even if it was a scam, he wouldn't tell me. So I'm like, just fucking sign up, you know? Stupidest question. Dude, is this a scam? Yeah, bro, you caught me. Oh, you got me, dude. Think I'm going to tell you? So I'm like, fuck it, dude. Even if you're scamming me, I'm not paying you. Let me sign up. So I sign up. I'm going to fast forward the story as to why I was saying this. This was young. I was in high school. This is how I started direct sales. I signed up. I started door-to-door sales for this company. All my 3 friends quit within the first day. I made like $300-400 in commission. I was fucking sold for the rest of my life. By the way, sold $300. Somebody paid me in 9 hours of work on a Saturday morning. I was fucking sold. I was selling gold. Couldn't convince me otherwise. I went home. I'm like, Dad, I just made fucking $300. Test me. I'm a king. He's like, buddy, go to school on Monday. I'm like, no. So he's like, go to school. I skipped Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday to keep working that job. And I fell into sales, right? I fell into sales. And when I was in sales, my mentor looked at me and he knew I was good. He knew I had a lot of fucking passion. You know, I was a DJ at the same time, but he's like, man, this guy's just hungry. He's good. So he's like, he came up to me and he knew I was gonna get an ego up my ass because I was making $300-400. So he came to me, he's like, Daniel, I just wanna let you know. Because I asked him after, why'd you tell me this? He's like, you fucking suck. Because as a leader, he knows the people you could say that to. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean, dude? Imagine the confidence. Like some coach is like, hey, you're doing so good. He came up to me, he's like, you suck. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, are you going to fire me? He's like, no, I can't. It's a volunteer sport. But he's like, listen, because you fucking suck in sales, he said, the only thing that you could do here is knock more doors than everybody, and eventually you'll get better. He's like, you suck. It's the baseline, because when you suck, he's like, the only thing that you can control is doing more than the person to the left and right of you, because eventually skills creep up. He's like, your skills are going to creep up, and when your skills creep up, your closing is going to creep up, because you're going to get a little bit better. He's like, when your closing creeps up, still tell yourself you fucking suck. I'm like, why? He's like, because you'll keep knocking on doors, your skill will keep going up, and your closing percentage will keep going up, and that cycle never fucking stops. That's why I made a video on that yesterday. I was in a pink shirt in the back of the car on my Instagram. But anyways, so I'm telling you this story, how to win friends and influence people. He's like, but there's one thing you can control. He's like, the one thing you can control is your efforts. And he said, the second thing that you can control is what you learn. He's like, so go read this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I'm looking at this fucking book. I'm like, dude, I'm a straight D student in English. There's no fucking way I'm reading this book. And I was looking at him. I said, yeah, okay. In my head, I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm reading this. He's like, have it done by next week. Yeah, okay. Didn't read this book because I didn't even know how to read. I didn't care about school when I was young. I'm like, there's no way I'm fucking reading this book. I was a kid that was copying off everybody, coming to work on Saturday. Bro, did you read the book? No. Go home, read the book. I was like, what the fuck? So I go home, read the book. I'm 2 pages in, and I literally sleep on my bed. I didn't know how to read, right? So I'm sleeping on the bed. Again, ESL kid, right? Was in Kumon. Do you guys know what Kumon is or no? You guys are laughing. I'm Kumon and ESL, right? And I'm born in Canada. Deadly combo. My parents giving up on me, by the way.
It's all screwed up.
Yeah, it's all fucked up at this point. My parents tapped out on me. And I go back home, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to read this book. Let me try one more time. So I'm going through it. I'm like, fuck, they have summary chapters. You know, they have chapters where you could just read like 5 points. Let me go through this shit and sell them on the idea that I read the book. Come back, I'm like, dude, that book was fucking amazing. He's like, you finally fucking read it. And I'm like, dude, it changed my freaking life. And I knew his next question was, yo, what was the best thing you liked in that book? I'm like, bro, the best thing that I liked in the book. And I prepped for him. Like, he said, how to make the person feel like they're the most important person on fucking planet Earth. I said, that thing shifted my mind. He's like, I know, right? It's freaking gold. I'm like, yeah, man. He's like, all right, go work. So I'm going up to the next door, and all I had in that fucking line, I couldn't read the book, obviously. I didn't know what to fucking read. I couldn't read more than 3 pages. And then I'm like, how to make people feel like they're the most important person on planet fucking Earth. Knocked on the door, and I said, Margaret, I went up, I had a routine. I slapped mud on my face to pretend that I was working, right? It's a whole thing in life, always be busy. So I'm like, how do I stay busy? Slap mud on my face, slap mud on my shoes, went up to the door, huffing and puffing, and boom, I locked in with them. And I'm like, how do I make this neighbor feel like there's no other fucking neighbor on the block, but it's just them? And that shifted my whole career because I always put focus on the person. And if anybody were to ever train with me, they would realize every single time, like when I go transition to present, I'm always like, hey, Margaret, by the way, would you like my help to show you how we've been able to help the mother of 3 like yourself get out of debt in the next 90 days so we can crush it inside of your business? A regular presenter. Hey, so let me show you what we have to offer. Boom, sucks. 2 levels of people. The person that makes a person feel like they're the most important person in the world. The other person that just says, hey, would you like me to show you what we have to offer? Why are those 2 different types of people different? Because the other person listened that she's the mother of 3 and said, would you like me to help you to show you how we've been able to help the mother of 3 get out of debt and potentially crush it over the next 90 days? That right there is the sale. You think it's the presentation, but to me, something went off, some dopamine went off in the person's head that said, oh fuck, the person was listening. That's sexy. I'm now gonna listen to him. Nobody gives a shit about your shit until you give about their shit. Nobody fucking cares about your story. I always say this in sales. You know when people are like, so explain your story to everybody about why you got involved. Fuck that. Why? Why am I saying that? Not to harp on all the coaches. I know some coaches hate me. Why does that not, it doesn't make sense to me from a sales perspective. Share your story as to why people got involved. Yes, if you know who you're speaking to and you know your audience. But if you listen to Sharon for 15 minutes, you would realize fucking Sharon has nothing to do with your story. She is not dropout. She's not ESL. She wasn't illiterate like myself. She was not part of fucking Kumon. So maybe my story doesn't make sense to her. But if I listened to Karen, I said, well, Karen, hold up. You told me your XYZ. As you were telling me that, I thought about Margaret inside of our business. She was in the exact same position that you were over the last 3 months. Fuck me. Let me show you Margaret. Margaret's absolutely crushing inside of our business. I just sent you over a DM to Margaret. Open it up. Tell me when it's on speaker. Boom. She opened. Oh my God. Ah, sexy. That's the fucking sale. You think it's your product. Product is 10%. 90% is, does the guy give a shit about me and was he listening? That right there, some people think it's always product. That right there, something triggered off where they're like, oh shit, he cares. That's been like, if you guys really go through my shit, the people that stayed here, you can go through hours of content of mine and you'll be like, fuck, I got the message he was trying to get across for the whole time. I can't wait to reverse engineer my concept when I'm 60 years old. this shit will turn me on. You guys are gonna be like, why? Because I'm gonna be like, one day I'm gonna sit down in front of a camera, I'm gonna say, I said the same message for 60 years. And I'm gonna reverse it all, and I'm gonna say, I just told people to give a shit about other fucking people, and that's sales. And you repeat it back to them, and you show them, and people that like them, or that are like them, or that wanna be like them, then 90%. People that like them, people like people that they wanna be like, or people like people that they're alike. If I can knock off one of those three things, the 10% is fucking easy. The people that didn't stay here, well, I'm cutting myself short here, but the people that are here either like me and Anthony, or like us, or you want to be like us. 10% is the training, that's why you stayed. The other people, maybe, they don't like me, they're not like me, or they don't want to be like me. I got to work on that shit. That's the shit I always focus on. That's how you get good at sales. Like always, like if a sales guy comes up to me, I know I'm ranting right now, but you guys are here, so I'm going to give you 150% because you guys stayed for a while. If a sales guy comes up to me and says, bro, somebody said no to my product. They don't have the money. They said they want to think about it. Bob, fuck off. Stop. I can't hear it. Come here. What? Bob, question. Yes. Bob? Yeah, Dan, what's up? Bob, does the person fucking like you? Well, it depends. Like, what do you, no, depends is a baby diaper's brand name. Bob, does the person fucking like you? I think, don't build your business off I think. Go to bed at nighttime and ask yourself the question, do the people I talk to fucking like me? If they don't like you, you got some fucking work to do. You think it's that they don't have money to do your $300 offer? They don't fucking like you. You have to work on that shit sometimes. No, everybody wants to on freaking autopilot. I'm like, just work on that for a second. It's the small things, the likability thing. I find so many, everybody tries, that's why when he said, keep it fucking simple, keep it simple, everybody overcomplicates everything. Another guy came up to me. This was 3 days ago. He's like, yo, man, I'm struggling. I'm like, dude, you have spinach in your teeth right now. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you're not bad at dealing with objections. You just got spinach in your teeth. He's like, well, what do you mean? A guy before that came up to me. Say always, these fucking characters in my office sometimes. Another guy came up to me, finished running, didn't take a shower, came up to me once, and he's like, yo, bro, so I sat down with the client, invited her into the office, she said X, Y, Z, and bro, she's giving me a rough time here. I'm like, bro, you smell like fucking bad body deodorant. He's like, so? I'm like, dude, doesn't matter how good the fucking product is. If you smell like shit, they're only thinking about how bad you smell. So the product is useless. So any fucking thing that I teach you inside of sales, if you got spinach in your teeth and you smell like armpit, let's go back to hygiene. It's fucking important. You didn't wear body deodorant. Maybe that's why they said no. You never thought about that, dude? I'm like, I'm sorry if I got to be the person that breaks it down to you, but if you smell like shit throughout the whole presentation, they're only going to be smelling that and thinking, why doesn't the guy wear body deodorant? If you got a bunch of fucking, no, this is the reality of it. Sorry, somebody has to say this shit.
It's so true, though.
If you smell bad, nobody's going to want to listen to you. So you think it's a sales advice, you just smell bad. I can't help you, dude.
Simple.
Just shower.
Simple shit.
What book did I read? How to Win Friends and Influence People.
I'll say another book, though, real quick, but I want to say the book that he's talking about, probably one of the greatest books you could ever read, in my opinion. A lot of you guys, when people come to you with, a problem or attitude, you react in a negative way. What that book really teaches you is how to make them feel like they're right. And that's the key to life. One of my mentors told me very early on, do you want to be right or do you want to be rich? And some of you guys want to be right more than you want to be rich. And that's why you're in the position you are.
Said the highest point of control is making other people feel like they're in control, right? So it's like, that's so cool, dude, that you said that, because a lot of my shit also derives down to that. Like, say somebody, gives you guys an objection, your ability to drop the ego and, first, when somebody gives you an objection, you got to be like, I fucked up. That's the first thing, right? The second thing is never over-intellect the prospect. Because when you over-intellect the prospect and you say, no, but you work in a scam. Look, this person is like this person, you're in a scam. Now the prospect feels dumb. How do you expect them to buy from you? right? So never over-intellect a prospect. You can't make a prospect feel dumb and then expect them to turn and then buy from you. That's the first thing. The second thing is, like, always make people feel like they're in control. So when you make people feel like they're in control, when you give people the leave inside of life, like if somebody were to give you an objection and you're like, you know what, Susan, 150%, I agree with you. Take fucking 3 months to think about something like this because I want you to marinate on something. And when you come back, you can make an informed and educated freaking decision. See, now I'm partnering up with Karen. Karen now is taking back power, and Karen also thinks she can leave the room. So when I give my client the ability that they can leave, now they feel like they're in fucking control, I can pull them back in. I said the highest level of control is making other people feel like they're in control. So now Karen's leaving, and I say, hey, Karen, by the way, over the next 3 months, when you're thinking about something like this, because I want you to make an informed and educated decision, what are you still a little bit hesitant about? That way I can go back with my assistant that I don't fucking have. I can go back with my assistant, right? And I can put together an email for you that you could just go over just for 10 minutes, right? While you think about something like this, what are you still a little bit skeptical and hesitant about? Is it still about, a little bit about the price and you don't think you're gonna make your money back so you don't feel like there's an ROI? Are you still a little bit skeptical and hesitant about the product actually works and you still need to see some more proof behind that? Or are you still a little bit skeptical and hesitant about that when you come in, you don't feel that you would be right fit for the product or you don't feel like you would work the business? Is it 1, 2, or 3? That way I could support you a little bit better as you think about something like this, right? My friends did the business, and when my friends used the product, I didn't know if it was gonna work out for me because it didn't really work out for them. They worked different. The objection moved from Karen to thinking about it for 3 months to Karen being scared that it's not gonna work out. I have a product objection, not a thinking objection. But by allowing my prospect to feel like they have some sort of control, I'm gonna get the bare naked truth of the objection just because I'm calm, cool, and collective, and I'm letting Karen leave the conversation. You guys get it? So as she leaves, what am I trying to do? Pull. That's what sales is, push to pull back in. So I'm constantly trying to push people out to drag them back in. That's a sale. Push people out, give them the fucking exit, because the frequency of an objection is one thing. I always put sales into energy. The frequency of an objection is I don't need you. So when an objection comes in, the first frequency I gotta show is I don't fucking need this person, so I gotta show that person. The most a prospect knows you need them, they don't need you anymore. So I show that, hey, yeah, for sure. Take 3 months to think about it. Boom, done. Whew, they can take a breath. This guy doesn't need me. By the way, in the process, see, I need to get some information here before you run out. And now I get the bare naked truth, and now I'm dealing with a product objection. So I fucking love it. Anyways, guys, big round of applause for Anthony Napolitano. Thank you, brother, appreciate it.